you're all very welcome in. Today, lads, we're chatting about your latest development, and this is based on the Airvan. And it's loaded up here in Flight Sim 24. It's looking beautiful, beautiful model. I haven't touched it. I literally only got this a few minutes ago, but what I have looked at, I am very much getting the Kodiak vibes, right? It's a very similar looking aircraft, high wing and all the rest. But I suppose, Alex, if you want to give us kind of like an overview, and then guys, you just chime in and let us know. I'll start moving around the aircraft. If you want to start talking about it, the development, maybe the challenges, and also what sort of features we might be able to expect with this aircraft.
Oh, there were no development challenges with the Airvan. We started the plane 4 years ago and rebuilt it from scratch three times so far.
4 years
to get
ago?
Where it is today. Yeah, I think it was 2021, maybe 3 years ago.
Wow.
So what we're looking at is the 2020 version of the Airvan in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And right from the get-go, it has a lot of features that are native in 2024, but they work in 2020 in our case, like the walk-around, pitot covers, dirt and weathering effects. But let's talk about the plane a bit. So the Airvan is like a small version of the Kodiak, piston-powered, a utility plane that can carry a lot of stuff. It's a very roomy aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a middle ground between a 172 and a plane like the Kodiak.
Okay.
It's very cheap to operate, and it can work on very harsh environments. It was built for that purpose exactly. So on to our edition of the plane. This is a testbed for a lot of new features. So we have our own custom walk around. Like I said before, we have our own chokes. It's a very detailed exterior model built off of a lot of photos of the real plane. Unfortunately, we didn't have 3D scans, but we did a very good job with the photos that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
Authentic sounds coming from the real airplane. We have, again, cargo pod and no cargo pod variant with luggage being visible in the cargo pod. Passenger and cargo interior. One of the things we've added to the Airvan is persistence. So if you forget, for example, your sunshades down, they will stay down until the next time you come in the plane.
Nice.
The dirt and weathering will persist over time. So you'll find the plane exactly like you left it.
Nice.
On the cockpit front, it's an analog panel. It's a single pilot aircraft, so all the instruments are on the left side. The right side is reserved mostly for the light and switches. We have 3 GPS options, GNS, GTN, and GTN-XI, and an optional autopilot, which I'm sure that most people will not remove from the cockpit. And finally, we have a tablet, which Vrippidis and Tukas have been working on for quite a few months, and that's going to find its way into many of our other planes.
Oh,
but
nice.
I won't say much about that one. I'd rather you see it and show it.
Sweet.
Because it's a very different approach to what we're used to.
Awesome. So, Alex, tell me, sorry, just interrupt. Tell me, why the Airvan? Why this aircraft? I mean, have you any kind of connection to it, or was it just something you thought it's a nice plane?
So after we did the Zenith and the Kodiak, and we also did the Okavango Delta back in 2022,
mm-hmm.
The Airvan was like a good middle ground between the Kodiak and the smaller planes, and it was a perfect fit for safari flying. There was a show called Bush Flyers, I think, Bush Pilots,
mm-hmm.
which featured flying into safaris, and there were a lot of Airvans operating in that area. So it was kind of both getting our first good big piston plane in the game, but also fulfilling a fantasy of flying a rugged bush plane with a piston engine in the backcountry.
Okay. It looks gorgeous.
Oh, I see some nice questions in the chat. Pequeño, am I pronouncing it right?
I can't listen. I've been calling him Piku for ages. I can't even pronounce it. PQ is grand. What's new and improved that was never developed before? That's a great question. Like, have you found stuff on this that you were like, okay, you've mentioned the tablet. We'll go through the tablet. But what about the aircraft itself? I mean, you're a long time looking at this project and building it. So the challenges, I suppose, is there anything new in this? I mean, is it the fact that you've managed to get so many 2024 features that we're now kind of accustomed to? You've managed to get these into a 2020 aircraft.
Yes, so there are some visual features. For example, in 2020 planes, deformable tires did not exist until Azure Poly put them in their Bronco. I think we're only the second plane, for example, to have deformable tires. I think we are if not the first, the second plane that has a full walk around of the aircraft in FS20. There are custom cargo loads. Instead of having just crates like the Kodiak and the PC-12, in the Airvan you can pick what you're going to load in the cabin and load it where you want it.
Oh, nice.
And another thing that people have been asking for are failures, which are an optional expansion pack. It will work on top of the base Airvan. It will be a separate purchase, and it will introduce proper failures to the aircraft. Right now we've got, on the top of my head, about 76 failures. They can go up to 83 in total, but doesn't really matter. It's more than 70. And these can either be triggered from the tablet or they can happen organically with wear and tear over time. And there are also cascading failures. For example, the engine has an accessory gearbox underneath it, which powers the oil pump, it powers the starter, and it also spins the generator. So if for some reason the accessory gearbox fails, be that its time has come or that an oil chip has slipped through the oil filter and gotten into it, you will lose all of these subsystems. And if you lose all of these subsystems, then you're also losing other stuff. Like, for example, if you lose your oil pump, you lose your engine lubrication. And that can cause even more problems than you had 30 seconds ago.
Okay, and the failure options, that's going to be it's a separate product, right? It's an add-on, as you've mentioned. So the base aircraft will come with your normal flying machine, and then users who want the failures, that extra realism, if you like, that's an upgrade. It's an add-on to this aircraft.
Exactly. It's like we promised with the PC-12, and by the way, it's coming to the PC-12 as well. The base plane will be, let's say, at the depth of the PC-12, so you get full systems, you get a fully operating aircraft, good flight model, authentic sounds, and if you're looking to get in trouble, buy the failure module as well.
Nice. Okay, well, I mean, visually looking around it, I mean, I haven't seen this thing yet, so I mean, I'm enjoying what I'm looking at. There is some savage detail here, like especially by the windows here. I mean, look at that! Look, Jesus. There's savage detail going into this. So I suppose, where are you at in terms of release? I mean, not to get an actual date from you, but like, it looks very much thereabouts. Are we talking it's a matter of weeks at this stage?
So initially the release was planned for late April, early May. The current release date is June 25th. And why is it so late? So that's for FS20, and FS24 will come a little bit later as a pre-update to people that buy the FS20 plane.
Okay.
We want to give our testers some more time to break the plane, to make sure that the failures fail like they should and there are no bugs left. And we also want to make sure that we iron out the tablet as good as possible, because that thing will go into our other planes. So we want to get this right on the Airvan, which is a much simpler airplane, get it proper, and then transfer all of the failures and the tablet and all the technology into the other planes.
And just to be clear, this aircraft that I have loaded in, this is inside Flight Sim 2024, lads. So the 2020 version will work just fine in 2024, just to be clear on that. And then later, a native 2024 aircraft will get in there. Like, is there anything, Alex, like, what would be missing, if you like, from a 2024 variant? Is it just how the aircraft is built, as in modular, or are there features beyond the scope currently on 2020 that you can bring into 24?
Good question. So, the main thing is the walk around and career mode. So, for the walk around with the 2020 version of the plane, you need to do the walk around from the cockpit camera instead of the avatar camera. So, you're just sliding the camera out of the cockpit and you can click the covers, the chokes, and the oil dipstick and everything else. In 2024, you'll be able to do it in walk around mode. So, that is one functional change that is going to come with 2024. The other thing is career mode. So in 2024, we will have the FS24 passengers, the FS24 cargo, the skydivers. Some of this is already working. We already have a 2024 build internally, which we're using to put these features in. And you will have career mode plus some features that are 2024 specific. For example, dirt and grime on the plane is done much better, much more efficiently in 2024 than it is in 2020. So all of this stuff, all of this stuff will be reworked from scratch for 2024.
Nice.
It's much more flexible in these regards.
Yeah. Come here, do you know what's a good sign? I'm looking at this now for a good solid 8 minutes. I found my first issue, and it's not even a big one. You have a floating screw on the right wing. That's all. Like,
let me get a screenshot of that.
Look, brilliant, right? But like, to be fair, you're like Raoul. It's like you won't find anything. It's like, Jesus, I go looking now in places. It's like I'm a good 10 minutes nearly going through this, and that's the only thing I've seen that's not even like, who looks up there. But this is so well put together, even just now. I think the aircraft itself, for me, it's just missing the connection. As in, I need to know more about it. I need to know its story. As you said, the inspiration was definitely there when you were looking at the Okavango stuff. You know, you were looking at the application of this aircraft in the real world. That's all that I'm missing. I mean, I can see it's a beautifully built aircraft. The model is class. Considering you didn't have access to the aircraft, as in you weren't able to scan it or do any of that jazz, this is all from reference photographs on how it was built. I mean, this is quite staggering what's done. Like, even the shape of the wings, they're a high wing, but like, they're not level. They kind of teeter up towards the wingtips. I mean, that's all captured here perfectly.
And the interesting story, there's an Airvan in the Netherlands, which we recorded.
Okay.
I think they're called Sisting Hochfliegers. I can't pronounce it properly, but they've got an interesting story, and we have permission to include their pension. So what these guys are doing is they have an Airvan, which is used either as an air ambulance for kids or as a fun ride for kids. So they're taking children that are ill and getting them to the hospital quickly, or they're even taking them out for joyrides for free.
That's awesome. And they're close to Two Cats, I think. So, yeah, that was handy.
Yeah, I think Two Cats was near that plane for a few days.
And these are an Australian-built aircraft. I see Conti's in the chat. Good to see you, Conti. These are actually manufactured in Australia.
Yes, they were manufactured in Australia. They stopped manufacturing them a few years ago. They were only producing spare parts, but they had a lot of orders. They were used by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, by Civil Air Patrol, by numerous other operators around the world, and they might start manufacturing it again. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
It's a plane that's in use. That's actively in use.
Sweet.
They even have a turbocharged version, and they made a turbo pro version of it as well, the GA-10.
The Airvan is flying 43 countries right now. It's all around the world.
43?
Yes. And
that's a lot of spare parts.
Yeah, as you can see, Alex was talking about the plane in the Netherlands. They take the kids to flying these planes because look at the side of the windows. they are very big, so the kids can see all rounded. They have a beautiful job there. I have some more information. I will put in the chat after. Everyone can look up to that. And the sounds were recorded
I
on
Nice.
that
think it went
airplane.
for I think it went for a jolly last week because I saw it outside of work. It's the kids charity ones, ever so nice on the inside, and then they come in and the kids get all this sort of I'd almost call it superhero treatment because they come in and you've got all the crew round them, and sometimes they park the King Airs nearby as well, so they get like a full-blown aviation sort of overload. And yeah, it's mad when you see that thing pulling out,
Ah, that's
flanked
deadly.
between two King Airs, and then you got this little Airvan sat in the middle. It's such a contrasting image between the two things. It's mad.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's yeah, like it's right. Let's talk variants, right? Because I mean, there's more than one variant of this machine. This is, or maybe I'm. Tell us about the variants that, you know. Is it a standard cargo aircraft? I know we can choose to have the cargo pod underneath. I've seen two variants in the menu, so we've one with and one without.
So there's the cargo pod and the no cargo pod version. Internally, there's the passenger version and the cargo version, which is also the same as the skydive one. What was interesting is that the skydive version doesn't have any benches. We have a pilot who's flying Airvans in the UK who's testing the plane for us, and he's dropping skydivers in the UK. And I'm like, okay, what bench do we need to model for this? And he's like, there's no bench. They're sitting on the floor.
They get
They're
in like,
hugging each other.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been that soldier. I was in a caravan doing that, a grand caravan, and you're loaded in like sardines. Like you're sitting in between the legs of the person behind you. Yeah, no benches. Sure, who needs benches where you're going? You're jumping out of the plane. Like, yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, man, it's and even the door, I believe.
And that also saved us a bit of work.
Yeah, and the door is the same configuration from the skydiving, or is it a flap door up and down, or is it the same to the side?
No, it's the same exact door.
Yeah.
Same plane, same door. There's an optional hand grip that goes on top of the fuselage.
Mm-hmm.
So some planes have it, some don't. So some skydivers want to grab onto it, get photos, or set up for some acrobatics.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not included in the current model. We might add it later.
Okay. And right, well, I think what we need to do, we need to give it an old blast and see what the features are like. I think visually, lads, you've done a great job. It's beautiful looking. The modelling is spot on. It's an unusual looking airplane, as you say. Like, I mean, you're getting the vibes of the Kodiak, as you say. It's somewhere between a 172 and a Kodiak. It's probably somewhere between the Zenith and a Kodiak. I mean, it's not a million miles off. And yeah, look at that. It's coming out. Is it Morwell in Australia? That's awesome, look. And yeah, I'm loving the details on this. So yeah, what we might do, we might jump into the cockpit now and have a look at some of the features. Like, we can see here now, even on the rudder. So the rudder trim, I'm right in saying that's that kind of flexible bit of metal that's your trim, right? You move that prior to flight. Am I right in saying that?
Yep, that's
yes,
what it is.
essentially, that's a fixed trim tab. So they're rigging it on the plane once and for all, let's say, and it's set up for a particular range of cruise speeds. So there's no actual rudder trim. It's just the force coming from the plane that forces the rudder a little bit to the right and keeps the plane straight.
Now, that's great in the real world. If you got that trim wrong and you take off, it's going to be a long time before you can fix it. I mean, you have to land and adjust it. For us flight simmers, is there a way for us to adjust rudder trim from inside, or have you locked that as the real world aircraft?
No, it is locked. We calibrated it for the cruise speed range so that you need minimal or no pedal at all.
Okay.
The only adjustable trim on the Airvan is the elevator trim, which is an all-moving elevator. If you move a little bit to the front towards there you can see the hinge, the trapezoid below the elevator.
Uh-huh.
You can see the cutout above and the trapezoid below. So essentially the entire wing is moving up and down.
Okay, so similar to the Mooney, as in the whole tail will push forward or move back, yeah?
That's an excellent example. Yeah.
That's awesome. And also, geez, that's very good, isn't it? So like, there's no, because I'm looking for trim tabs. It's like they don't exist. But it's the whole tail. It's not a stabilator, but is it a stabilator? But the whole tail unit will actually move. Because I was looking at it, I was thinking, why is the tail inside the empennage of the aircraft? But that's to allow it to move. I mean, this whole section here, actually, like a pendulum, it'll swing forward to give you that angle, right?
Yep, the entire thing will move. It's a very interesting setup, and it was also difficult to get reference to figure it out.
That's awesome. Very unique, or very rare, if you like. The Mooney is the only other aircraft I'm aware that it does that. So yeah, that's awesome. Sweet. Right. I think it is time to jump into this machine and see what it can do from a power up and all the jazz.
Are you in drone camera now or in cockpit camera and floating around?
I'm now gone into the actual cockpit camera. I was droning around, but now I've gone into the actual cockpit camera now.
If you want to, we can show some of the walk-around features of the aircraft and then jump into the tablet and the avionics and the plane itself.
Sounds good.
So let's move the camera out of the cockpit sideways and go to the engine. Yep, you're no longer locked in the cockpit exactly for that purpose.
Oh, that's nice. There's a flap on the top. Can I check my oil here? Jesus, I can look. Brilliant. So these are 2020 capabilities. We're used to them in 24, but this all works now in 2020. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're gonna work in 2020 for sure.
That's awesome.
Another thing you're going to need to watch out for in the failure variant is that the propeller shows visible signs of wear. So in the basic package, you will see wear and tear, but it won't harm you. In the failure pack, if you don't look at your propeller and look for signs of weathering or chips on the prop, you might get in trouble at some point. And the propeller doesn't just wear down with time, it wears down with the environment. So if you're flying, for example, close to the water, because there's humidity in the air, you're actually windmilling through some water instead of just air. So it's denser, so you're getting more damage. Or if you're flying over sand, the same applies.
That's
so
nuts.
Depending on the terrain type, your height above the ground, or if you are actually on the ground, on the weather, if you're flying through a cloud, through a storm, near the water, the propeller weathers at a different rate. So it's not linear or static.
That's awesome. Your little engine cover flags move in the direction of the wind.
Yeah, this is happening since the PC-12. It's very unique, right? You see it's going on the way in the wind going. The speed is also an influence like that. It's very good. You see the pitot cover do the same thing. It's very good.
And I love that because
these are the ULDs, the useless little details.
But they're not useful. Like, here's the thing, right? This is actually so useful even to flight simmers. How many times have you spawned in an aircraft? There's no windsock. You don't know what the weather is doing. I mean, there's your windsock right there, right? I mean, that's what you do in the real world. Just, Jesus, the wind is blowing this way. So, I mean, anything that's going to... I mean, we can't exactly... Oh, the wind's coming in this direction, from a sim. So if we have visual markers, this absolutely shows you, the direction of the wind. It's really good. And like, yeah, man, it's, I'm just messing with the wind here. That's class.
You know well enough so that you can adjust your rudders when the time comes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the way you can put stuff back on.
Yes. And for those that don't like pre-flighting the plane, there's an option to skip it altogether and the plane will remember that option.
Ah, nice.
Another little detail which people might appreciate is an external power unit, which you can plug on the left side of the aircraft under the pilot door. And in the cargo pod variant, you can also open the doors during pre-flight by clicking on them. But I'd like you to take a look at the label on the external power unit. I think you're going to enjoy it.
External power, 12 volt DC.
Yeah, so you open the door, and then you click on the plug once the door opens to install the external power unit.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Which we've made our own brand, and
The Zap
I think you
Pack.
might like the name.
The Zap Pack. I need some Zap. Anyone got a Zap Pack? Hang on. Why is it called a Zap Pack? Zip. Brilliant.
Don't read the label though.
That's really good. That's class.
And if you take a look inside the cargo pod, when you take out the GPU, it's gonna be there.
Oh, really?
The same. On the other door. The same with the
It's
shock.
going to be stored in the front.
Ah, look at that. That's class.
You can open that door also.
I'm trying to find a click spot for it. Hang on.
I think it's the bottom half of the door.
Ah, yes. Yes. Ah, brilliant. That's class.
Right.
If you take the shocks out of the gear, they're also gonna appear inside of it.
Oh, I love that. How many times have we had access to cargo pods and then we can never actually open or close them? They were just forever stuck closed. I think the new 208. Oh, look at that. It'll only do one shock at a time. That's hence the importance of your walk around. Very good. I think it was the default 208 would open the doors when you go to load it, but you can never interact. And like, I've always wanted to know how much space is in there, but now we know. Brilliant.
Yeah, and you can actually see baggage in there as well. One other feature that we're contemplating of adding is fuel contamination. So, for example, if you leave your plane parked for a while, you'll start getting water out of the air humidity. You'll start getting water into your fuel. So you can sample the fuel by clicking those little taps under the right door and see if there's water in the fuel.
Ah, brilliant.
Which is, the clicking is implemented, the contamination is not for the fuel.
Nice. So what way will you model that as in contamination? Will you show it as a clean layer or put bubbles in it, or what would you do?
You're going to get a layer of fuel and a layer of water in the bottom, or bubbles, depending
Sweet.
on the type of contamination.
Sweet. Oh yeah, that's really nice. I'm liking this. Lads, what do you think? This is really nice, isn't it? This is brilliant. Okay, so we'll keep those doors open for the moment. Continue here with our walk arounds. Remove the pitot cover. And this walk around that we're doing now, this is what you get in Flight Sim 2020, lads. So this isn't the native. You'll notice that I'm not in the external camera. This is the cockpit camera that I'm just manipulating myself moving around the aircraft. But yeah, I mean, it's nice that you can do this. And as you say, there is absolute consequence. You know, when it comes to later on, when if you want to grab the failures, there will be savage consequence, you know? Now, let's say, for example, lads, if I left those engine intake covers there, or if I left the pitot tube on, even in the current version that doesn't have failures, is that going to impact on the aircraft?
Yes, you won't be able to start the engine with the covers on.
Okay.
There's not sufficient airflow to go into the engine.
Okay. And
or if you don't remove the pitot cover, you will lose your airspeed.
Nice. Jeez, the sounds and everything are working there. That's class, man. Class. Right, let me close this. Close that little flap there, and we'll close the back door here. And I suppose.
Yeah, we don't have any spark effects if you drag this door on the ground.
Doesn't that right? Immersion ruined, Alex. That's it. Jesus, how'd you close the door? Oh wait, hang on. You click it first. Get in quick before it closes, and then we latch it.
There's a click spot in the back. Yeah. There.
And I will latch this one as well. That latch is mad looking. In aviation, you think you'd be like, you know, no, it's like a shed door. It just clips into the little receiver, right? Class. All right, good stuff. Awesome. The pitot cover, can the pitot cover catch fire? Brilliant. Right, so looking into the cockpit, the sun is not shining in here, so I don't know how well we can see things. Speaking of which, we got sun visors, look. with realistic creaking sounds. Love it. Brilliant. Okay, right. So, well, there's features. Let's have a look at this tablet, I suppose. What can you tell us? Two Cats, I think you've been busy playing with this.
I may have been tinkering with it.
Tell us about it. What can it do? Can we play Snake in it?
Not yet.
So this is a tablet, as Alex was saying, this is something that is going to go into the rest of the SWS fleet. So no pressure at all, Two Cats. Who else is working on this with you?
No.
Is it just you?
Ephrabides is my fearless teacher who's got the patience of a saint.
Brilliant. Ephrabides.
We have been working together with Two Cats on the tablet.
Hello there.
He has been an incredible partner.
Brilliant. Right.
Well, I think the first thing I played with was the digital clock that was in this, wasn't it? Ephrabides?
The volt amp meter, I think.
That's it, the volt ammeter, that was it, the first thing you let me play with inside.
Yes, firstly you got your training on the voltage amperage meter, and then the training wheels went off with the tablet.
Nice. Okay, so to power it on, will we turn it on?
So there are two click spots on the tablet. One is the base of the suction cap to show or hide it. And the second one is the lock button, which is the third button from the left. So you click the lock button to turn on the... Yeah, that's showing and hiding.
Ooh.
And there you go.
Okay, fuel and payload, flight bag, and settings. All right.
These are the first menus that will be incorporated for the Airvan.
Okay.
And
A fun little thing as well is the top left-hand corner where it says your tail number. If you set your own, like for instance PHTWC, it will actually read your own personal tail number in the top hand corner.
Nice, in the tablet. Nice, okay.
Yes, and also the time is of course the local time of the simulator.
Okay. So we have a home button.
We plan to add local and home time features in the future, so you can see different time zones if you fly across them.
Okay.
So you
The design philosophy for the tablet is big and chunky click spots. So the idea is that the click spots are color coded, big where possible, so that you can operate the tablet while looking outside the window instead of looking at the tablet.
Yes, the tablet is here to assist in setting up and flying the aircraft, not being the centerpiece of the cockpit. So the pilot should be able to easily ascertain what he wants to do and click on it and achieve it. So for example, if you go to the fuel and payload section, you'll see firstly that we have the fuel page for the aircraft. You have 4 presets for fuel levels on the top, so you can easily put it on half tank on maximum, and you can configure the individual tank levels if you simply click on the tank itself and set a particular level. So for example, if you click at about the bottom of the tank, the corresponding level will be filled.
Oh, look at that. Okay, I like that. And the aircraft is reacting to that as well. I love that.
Yes, the change in the refuel is instantaneous, along with anything else. And the fuel is being added in increments of 5%, so you can don't need to fuss around a lot with achieving a particular setting. Of course, there are the presets to assist you even further on that.
Okay, sweet.
On the payload sub-page, you can load the aircraft with cargo for the cargo version and passenger for the commuter version. And you can also set up the luggage. You can click, for example, the crates and add them to click spots. And if you double click on the crate or triple click, you can set up stacks of larger cargo. The barrels and the generators only go on the first row of the cargo because they cannot be loaded in the bag.
Gotcha.
So it's self-regulating. So the green pips are how many of that particular item you're going to load. The number is obviously how many you've put in the aircraft, and it's regulated that the certain items can only go in certain spots of the aircraft. So crates can go all across the aircraft. Barrels can only go at the front along with the generators.
Okay.
So if you've got, say, like crates selected now, because you've got the green outline, and then you click the barrels, it will replace the barrels with 4 crates.
I like that, and you get to see it. I mean, that's what you need. Shipping with style, I like that. Brilliant.
And another thing that we did in anticipation for career mode, some people like to do it in free flight, others like to do it in career mode. In order to avoid them being intrusive in career mode, you can there's a setting in the tablet in the options that allows you to just get rid of our own cargo. So no matter what the tablet shows, there will be nothing in the cabin, and you will be able to see the MSFS cargo, which is much more rich.
Look at the detail you've gone into here. You've even put the safety pins into the ground hooks for the generators. For God's sake.
Yes, it should also be noted that in the final version, you can only load one generator either on the left or on the right, because the models are way bigger than, so they overlap a bit.
Sure.
Also, the cargo weight and the passenger weight is automatically generated. It's not the same every time. So if you click, for example, the apply button a couple of times, it will generate a new cargo based on your selection, but with slightly different weights, so you can achieve some randomness that happens in real life.
Yeah. See that? That's pretty cool.
Yes, and you also have indicators for this lateral and longitudinal center of gravity, which change every time according to your selection. You can also empty or fill the aft luggage area.
Nice. And the same with your pilot, co-pilot. So your pilot is always there, but your co-pilot, if you want to remove them, that's them there. Nice. Yeah, I like that. It's simple, but very effective. I mean, it works perfectly.
Yeah, the whole point of the tablet was to give you the information you need, make it look nice, but not be massively overcomplicated. Most of it was designed from being sat just behind the yoke, so it should have good readability from close to yoke point.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I like the I just like the attention to detail. Like they're tied down. You got a cargo net there. Everything's where it should be. It looks the part, and like looking in externally, you can also see the stuff. We're bringing Jenny for a spin there. Look, that's class. I like that. Yeah, that's really well done, lads. I love that. The weight and balance element. So the fuel and payload. So that's the first little section we've looked at. Yeah, it looks really nice. So moving on, then our next option being the flight bag.
In the flight bag, you have 2 options as of now. And the first is the manual, which is now fully integrated in the tablet with along with the sections of it, and you can read it at any time you want. So this will help the pilots get immediate information on all the systems that they require. And if you click on the bottom of the page, you can scroll to the next page and along in each individual section.
Nice touch.
No more where is the manual.
Yes, the manual will always be there. Unless they manage to click this action cap and hide the whole tablet, then we'll be looking for the tablet.
Where's the tablet? Why? I need the manual. Yeah, that's good.
You know, Murphy, most of the people are going to ask how I turn on the tablet, because it's not just clicking on the screen. You know, you need to click on the button to turn on.
Yeah.
You need the manual for that.
You need the manual. Where's the manual? It's in the tablet. Brilliant. Oh, I like it, man. I like it. So these the far left buttons, they do nothing. So it's just your power on is here.
Jesus.
Yeah, we.
Yes,
The
the
tablet
other
don't play
2
music
buttons are cosmetic for now.
For now, I like the way you've said for now. They're going to be able to do stuff.
Well, as long as they are there, we might as well use them.
Yeah.
For something.
Ideas are flying around every day.
Yes.
Yeah, I can
Flight
imagine.
Conti is asking if it can be hidden.
Yeah.
I think it was just answered.
Because it's great having it there, but like people are like, wait, Jesus, it's in my way. But no, it's 100% it can. Yeah, that's really nice. And the only thing that's missing, lads, and you're right, I'm just saying now, you know these two buttons that aren't doing much? I'm going to give you a headache. A suggestion might be, especially for the manual, can you zoom in on that page? Because you know the way you're talking about
make an option.
Right, Murphy, we crown this one here, lads, because you know the way you want to read it, and everything so far has been lovely and, you know, blocky. But if I'm trying to say, Jesus, hang on, I can't read that, and then suddenly I've lost everything else but the tablet, kind of goes backwards. So maybe you can zoom in there, maybe you can't, I don't know. You can call it the zoom in feature 2025.
We can certainly consider that.
There we go, sweet.
And
yeah, I like
now,
that. I like that all the information that you need is here, and like it's giving you the information about the aircraft as well. Yeah, it's just neat and tidy. I mean, like at a glance, you can double check. Oh wait, where do I find this? Where's this? You know, nice. Did the jacks flush? It's cool and all, but did the jacks flush? Brilliant. Okay, so the flight bag, that's for the manual, and then we have normal checklists. So you're providing checklists to this aircraft as well.
yes, if you can click on it, you will have a full arrangement of checklist for all the sections needed from the start of to the end of the flight, and you can click along any menu and check them out accordingly.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then we move across to continue them on. Yeah, I like that. Engine start, taxi, takeoff, cruise, descent, landing. Yeah, good stuff. Very clear, right? Very clear.
It's still a little bit of a work in progress because there's so many checklist items. You see the up and down arrows on the left-hand side. You'll actually use those to go through to grab which checklist you want as well.
Yeah. So there's possibly more going in there, or
I think there's 15 slots there and quite a few more actual individual checklist items for those.
We plan to have around, if I remember correctly, 22 or 23 individual checklists for the Airvan.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
nice.
Each will have between 3 and 20 something items, so that's a lot of items to check out.
You'll be checking it out all day. Nice. And then our last area here is the settings.
Yes.
So we have options here. So avionics, that should be choosing what avionics unit. Oh, look at that. So
Yep.
yes, you have working titles GNS, then you have the GTNs coming in from PMS. And are these working?
Yes,
Yes,
if you
as
click on
long-
it all.
As long as
Happily
you
swap.
have them installed in your system, they will change to the selected system.
Nice one. Okay. Settings. And then we have failures and weathering. So this will be the module that you pick up after it. Yeah?
Yes, this will be added in the future for the release of the Airvan.
Okay. And then we have just general options here. So this is where you can enable your pre-flight if it has an autopilot. If you want to see cargo, I imagine that's to help folks out maybe with performance. And if you want to have the pilot or co-pilot hidden.
Yes, and I should note these are only to display the pilot and co-pilot models, so you can have the models being shown through here and have the individual weight set up from the cargo section, so you can achieve any combination you would like, seeing or not seeing the pilot and co-pilot, and having them weight the aircraft to make it more nose heavy or not.
Okay, sweet.
That was made deliberately, so you can achieve any scenario you like.
I like that. Lads, great work on the tablet. Yeah, I'm liking that, and it'd be very, very good to see that across the fleet. I like what you did. They're big buttons. That's what you want. You don't want to be faffing about trying to find, where's the button? And next thing you're in turbulence, and the mouse is clicked on something, and you explode. You know, it can happen. But yeah, great job here. And you can, if the tablet's in your way, just get it out of the way. There is a click spot on the window. It's You can actually see the marking where it goes. Look.
Yes, we try to make it as easy to use as possible. That's why the tablet also doesn't have a lot of depth in the menu. So once you are in a menu, you can have 1 or 2 clicks to get to the final sub page.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to dig around through menu and menu and menu to find whatever it is that you are looking for.
Okay, sweet. Nice.
Also, one thing worth noting is that if you want to skip pre-flight, again, this is an option that will be remembered by the aircraft. If you skip it, it's going to remove the chokes, the covers, everything automatically. But
okay.
if you reactivate pre-flight, then let's say that you're on the ground, it's not going to install the covers. You need to do it yourself. This is to avoid accidents where, for example, you activate pre-flight features in the air, but you end up with a clogged engine.
Okay.
So that doesn't get in the way. So you can clean the aircraft, but you need to cover it yourself.
I like that. Yeah. Nice. Right. Well, avionics then. I mean, I'm a sucker for a steam gauge. I mean, you're right. You have click spots here to hide the yokes. Nice touch. Only on one side. I mean, it's a single pilot op, right? So what have we got here? So,
and if you want to get rid of that little carpet cover atop the screen, there's a click spot in the middle column, at the base of the middle column.
Oh, look at that.
For the glare shield cover. There are some small customization options, more ideas of flying around every day, as I said before.
Yeah.
We might end up putting bobbleheads at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, we need to see York as a bobblehead. It's going to happen, right? Yeah, that's a nice touch. I like that. Anything that you can customize an aircraft to make it feel like your own, it's brilliant. Like, because you feel a part of the add-on. It's mad. It sounds weird, but it works. It's like, no, that's my plane, you know. So yeah, that's nice. So what we're looking at here, so across we have our fuel tank indicators and our fuel pull-offs. That's our fuel shut-off valve. We have a primer switch. Is that electronic primer, is it? Batteries off.
Sorry?
The primer. It's an electric primer, is it?
Yep.
Nanometer volts, oil temperature, oil pressure. What's this little fella here now? A fuel flow, gallons per hour. So, used remaining required reserve. We'll get some power into this here now. The trim position, that's interesting looking. That's very different than what we're looking. Usually it's like a green mark, so we can see where the trim is. Here's a real one now for you lads, and I'll doubt you come across this. Is there any way that we can just adjust the speed of the trim? And the reason why I'm saying that is some controls do it brilliantly. Other controls, people are using switches that are literally moving at one increment at a time. Maybe that's a discussion for another day, Alex, but it's...
So there are many ways to adjust trim for a developer.
Mm-hmm.
So intentionally, we put extreme trimming angles in the flight model. So you'll see, if someone opens the flight model file, you'll see that you can trim up to 60 degrees of elevator trim, which is excessive. But the reason we're doing that is to force the plane to trim slowly. So we're increasing the angle to 20 times the normal value, but reducing the effectiveness by 20 times so that it just takes longer to trim and achieve that fine tuning that you need.
Sure.
But if you use, for example, a hat switch on your joystick, then flight sim can read that differently. It might trim much quicker. Or if you use a trim wheel, it can trim slow. So we have limited control over how that actually works. We're just going for the lowest common denominator and trying to get to work consistently for most people. But we can't adjust the speed perfectly for every controller, every input type.
Okay, I know a fella who knows a fella who robbed it from another fella of how to make it. I'll have a chat with you later. There's a way to put in like a slider. It's using a SimVar, I think. Anyway, it's not important. We'll chat later on it. But it's my controls particularly. So I'm like, if I go hatchet trying to move the trim wheel, it's like, you're tickling me. You know, whereby other controls you did that, you'd be trimmed off, like the nose is down or straight up. Do you know what I mean? So just something there for depending on the user, because This aircraft, I mean, it's a flight sim release. Is this also targeted to Xbox players?
Yes.
Ooh.
So we're testing this with a bunch of hardware. Some of us are flying it with just a twist grip joystick. Others are flying it with a Honeycomb Bravo and the yoke. I did take it up for a few flights with a gamepad, and it's workable. Although the fewer controls you have, the more handicapped you are in that sense.
Sure, sure.
Like if you want to throttle, trim, and feather at the same time, you only have one thumbstick to work with.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Let me see here now. No smoking, doors to be closed. Go on, yeah.
Sorry, I lost you there.
No, you're okay. Keep going.
Another little detail that we added to the plane is you can see the compass on the six-pack. It has a heading adjustment knob. If you remove the autopilot from the tablet, then your compass will change, and you will also lose the autopilot circuit breaker in the overhead, and the entire autopilot will become inactive. So removing the autopilot does make a difference.
Nice.
It's in the other settings.
Nice. And it removes the autopilot unit.
It's a completely different model compass too.
That's awesome.
Although I'm fairly certain that I'm the only one flying it by hand.
That's the challenge. One man flying with no autopilot. Nice. Yeah, I like that. These are all kind of creature comforts to get the aircraft the way you want to fly it, right? Or indeed you want to give yourself a challenge. You know, tonight I'm going to fly in bad weather with no autopilot. You know, you have those options. Sweet. Right. Well,
I mean, this is the most I've seen of the plane because I've been too busy staring at that top left-hand corner.
I can
I think
imagine.
I've spent hours and hours in this plane. I'm like, oh, when did that get added?
You could do
that
this.
done?
You could do this.
Yeah. I just lived in that top corner of the aircraft.
Nice. There is an overhead as well, and of course we have circuit breakers. These are all modelled, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Although there's not a lot to use on the Airvan. It's a very simple plane. It's just the basic stuff that you need to fly a plane. It's easy to operate. So the switches behind the red guards are the master electrical switches. Yep, the usual flexi lights with a gooseneck.
That no matter what way you do it, you'll never get it where you want.
That's a feature.
That's a feature. Brilliant.
We also have some failures for the circuit breakers.
Oh, nice.
Circuit lighting, instruments, avionics. Almost everything is going to fail on the aircraft.
I like that, man. I like that. It's beautifully modelled. I love the switches. They're gorgeous.
What's interesting is that the lighting controls are on the right-hand side of the panel. So you need to reach around the GPS units to turn on the lights.
On the right-hand side of the panel.
Yeah, these three guys.
And there's also an air conditioner panel out there.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that. Okay, so here's our radio lights. All right, okay, got you now. Right, so the fans.
Hello there.
Yes.
And there's sounds and they work.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
There's no air conditioning on the plane, only fans for that, as far as I know, but it seems to get the job done.
Oh, we like. Right, lights dim, they work, test. Like, there's not much, but there's enough, right?
Yeah, it's very simple plane.
And what's interesting about the fuel warning lights is that if your fuel is low, it's not just going to come on and illuminate. Depending on the fuel level, it's detecting air bubbles in the fuel flow, and it's going to blink. So the lower the fuel level, the more frequent the blinking until it gets solid.
Oh, nice. And there now. I have more lights here I need to find. Where's the switch for this gadget? Oh, there he is, look. Wait. There he is.
The switch for that is the forward quarter of the light. There you go.
Ah, that's pretty cool. I like that. And then we can move the gadget around, look.
As you said, the challenge is to point it where you need it.
While you're flying in turbulent air. Yeah, I like that. The lighting's very good.
It's an enlightening experience.
Yes, it's enlightening. Brilliant. Cabin lights. And you can move all the stuff around. Yeah, no, I like this, lads. This is really nice. It's quite a dark cockpit for flying, right?
Yeah, there are only a couple of cabin lights. One is the courtesy light that's right behind the overhead,
Yeah.
which illuminates the cabin from the front. And there's also the wing light, I think it's called, which is right over the cargo door.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah, you have this little guy up there and one right above the cargo door.
Is there a switch now?
Yep, there are two switches in the overhead. One is called wing and one courtesy light. They're on the left side of the overhead panel, I think third row from the front.
Oh, yeah. We have it, man. Sweet. Okay. Ah, look at those landing lights. Look at that. I love that. Little spot lamps, look. Yeah, we like that.
Is that a deer
Listen,
in the headlights?
you would you wouldn't know what you'd find out here. One thing I've noticed though, and it could be just an early bug. Do you see the lighting on those 530s there? Is that right?
Yes, I just took a note of that.
Ah, right. Okay. Sweet. Right, we'll make it daytime again. And what I'm going to do, we're going to fire up the engines, have a little listen to it, and I'll see what you guys think here in our chat. What do you think so far, lads? It's pretty nice, isn't it? I imagine avionics need to be off for starting this machine up, otherwise it'll scream at us. Right.
Ideally, yes. You can get your clearances and keep one there.
I was looking at you have two switches for it. Gotcha. Okay, strobe lights, fuel pump. Now will this react to fuel coming in? Let's have a listen. Is there a fuel tank selector?
No, it's
single
there are
feed.
two wing tanks, and they feed into a SAM tank that's below the co-pilot seat, and from there it goes straight to the engine.
Okay.
It's going through the two pumps and then to the engine.
Okay. All right, so we'll give it a start up and let's see what happens. So let's hope this works. 1, 2, 3. Let's hope she starts. Clear prop. Oh, Jesus, that's nice. Lovely sounds. Right, let's see here now.
Yep, that's coming from the Hawk Flickers, from the Hawk Flickers plane.
Right. They're all on. Turn that on for the crack. Leave the pumps off now for the moment. Alternator is not running on balls.
Did you pull the breaker for that?
Strange. Oh, no. Peter coming on. Battery masters are on. Avionics are on. We'll try the breaker. Where is it now? Access power, aircon, instrument lights, Peter heat, comms, GPS, fuel, autopilot, avionics fans, systems, start access power.
Is it? It's linked to the RPM, isn't it?
Oh, is
Alex?
it?
Might be.
It's linked to the bus switch and to the voltages. So if the bus switch is off, which it isn't, it shouldn't come up. I'll take a look at it tomorrow.
That's okay. Listen,
Yeah,
lads,
it's
if
producing the right amount of voltage.
yeah, is there a circuit breaker for the alternator?
I don't remember right now off the top of my head. I think there was one. It should be in bus 2. No.
That's okay.
No.
That's okay.
That's a bug.
Who needs an alternator anyway? I mean, the battery's brand new, right? Fran with the question there, wondering the price of this machine. Is that something you guys are able to let us know now?
Yep, the base plane is going to cost 25 euros and the failure module is going to cost 15 euros.
So,
And you're getting them for 20 and 24.
So for $25, is it dollars?
Euros.
25 euros, you get the base aircraft that'll work in 2020 and 2024. And if you want to buy the expansion pack, which includes over 70 failures and pure consequence, that's an additional 15 euros.
Exactly. And with the 25 euros, you're also buying not just the 2020 plane that works in 2024, you're also going to get the 2024 native plane.
Okay, so you're getting the native version of the aircraft as well. Okay. So 25, and if you want to have all the bells and whistles.
Oh, there we go. The lights out.
The lights out, yeah. I without looking, I just punched it.
Okay.
Right, so lads, this has been very refreshing, great to listen. You can absolutely hear from all the work that's going into it, the passion for this, and it's great to see, right? I'm excited for this. I'm just going to take it out for a very quick lap here. We'll have a listen in on the sounds, because it sounds great, and yeah, really looking forward to the release of this aircraft. For anyone watching, it is a 2020 aircraft, but it's working very, very well in flights in 2024. I mean, there's features on this aircraft we're used to now in 24, but they're hugely important for 2020, in particular with the walk around mode. But again, if you don't want them, turn it off. So it's great to see. So to our guests here this evening, lads, I want to thank you very, very much indeed. You're very kind for taking your time out of your day to join me, and fantastic work on this. Can't wait for this to release. I think folks are really going to enjoy flying it. I love the features.
Thank you very much for having us. We were happy to showcase the Airvan. And while it looks like a simple plane, it has a lot of new technology from our side in it. So it's a big leap in a different direction for us. Sweet.
One question, Alex, just to put you on the spot. PC12 updates or development, how is that going? I mean, it's your hands are full with everything, right? I mean, it's not just that. I mean, you had the Kodiak out with us. You were saying you're working on the PC12. You have this now coming out. It's not to mention your other projects, right? I imagine you're a very busy man. Users of the PC12, is there an update somewhere along the path?
Yes. So right now, we're currently testing a flight model update that will increase the flap drag and will allow you to land in sandbars without going to 100 knots during the dive.
Mm-hmm.
So this is currently in testing, and we also have a series of avionics updates coming to the PC12. After every PDIS and TUCATs are free of the tablet in the Airvan, we're going to move the tablet to the PC12 and do avionics fixes to that as well.
Nice. And tell me, when do you get
Plus
time to
we have
sleep?
the Kodiak 900 in parallel. What's that? Sleep?
Sleep, what is that word? I don't know. Someone said something about it, yeah. No, that's very, very exciting. Great stuff, lads. I really do appreciate you coming on and updating folks to what you're working on. I think there's going to be a lot of excitement for this machine. It certainly looks the part, and it's mad looking. It's like squished, and I like it. It has character. We like that, you know. So brilliant stuff, right, lads? Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for
Thank you very much, Murphy.
We'll see you soon.
Hope you will enjoy the Airvan.
Absolutely. Awesome work, lads.
And I would like to just thank Shoma for that are here, mainly the pilots who helped us to bring the Airvan to this level we have right here.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. If any input you can get real world from the maintenance guys or the pilots, I mean, we benefit. The users benefit from that. So thanks for taking the extra steps.
Yes, thank you. Have a nice day.
Sweet. Right, lads, we'll let you go. Good luck. Okay. SWS, a great bunch of lads, right? So what we'll do here, lads, we'll be focused on the sounds for a moment, right? Let's have a now listen here. So we're idling on the ramp, and let's see what this does. Mind your ears now, right? It sounds lovely, doesn't it? It sounds class. Does it have, does you have bait in this? It does. No. Interesting. No beta. Denied. That's a real heavy sound, isn't it? It's class. Alrighty. Some avionics need a tweak. How good is the old short takeoff and landing, right? Sounds are brilliant. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Lots of flaps. Alright. Come on, you devil! Here's been live. Oopsie daisy. Definitely not going to win any win speed races, but it's yeah, we got the cargo in the back. You can feel the weight of it. Oh, it's pretty. Jeez, it sounds great. Alright, let's see what we can do here. That's like 90 knots, look. Alright, easy now. I'm not sure if the autopilot works. No, it is working, brilliant. What's our altitude? 1.4. Turn us to the right. Jeez, the sounds are phenomenally good, aren't they? They're excellent sounds. We get closer than that. Now, Murphy, do not hit a friggin' mountain, you big idiot. Try a quick flyby sound already. Yeah, it's decent enough, isn't it? Autopilot off. Easy now. Great sounds from the flaps and that when they're. Did you hear the wind, the drag? Oh man, this is nice. Easy now. Man, the drag for the flaps. That's awesome. All right. What a nice plane.
It's not the plane, it's the pilot.
Ah, sure, listen, you know, barrel roll. Sounds like a 109. It's done really nice.